Dear students, in this lecture I am introducing to you a new method of analysis called as method of consistent deformation. So in the beginning of our discussion, in the introduction part, we have been told that there are broadly two methods of analysis which are all called as force method and displacement method. Okay. So this particular method, the method of consistent deformation, is an example of force method of analysis wherein the redundant reactions are the primary unknown and the compatibility equations are used for finding the redundant reaction first, and once the redundant reactions are obtained, we found the other reactions and the displacements. Okay, so for better understanding of the method, we will directly discuss a problem and illustrate it. Okay, so see this problem. So we have a continuous span ABC supporting a uniform loading W throughout, and each span AB and BC are of length L by 2. Support A is a hinge support, support B is a roller support, and support C is a roller support, which means that there are two reactions here, one reaction here and one reaction here, which means there are total 4 unknown reactions and 3 available equations, which means the static indeterminacy is going to be 4 minus 3, which is 1. This means that one of the reactions are redundant. So let's choose the reaction at support B as redundant reaction. So RB is chosen as a redundant. So the next step to be taken in this method is we have to find out the relay structure. So relay structure is nothing but from the original structure we have to remove the chosen redundants. So from the original structure, which was a continuous beam ABC, we remove the support B, which is a redundant. RB is redundant, so we remove the support B so that it becomes a determinate structure. So relay structure is always a determinate structure. The next step to do is on the relay structure we have to apply the given external loading and find out the deflection corresponding to the redundant. So once the external load is given, which was a UDL throughout, we have to find out the displacement at the or deflection at the redundant location. So this delta B is marked as the displacement at the redundant location. So which is a well-known equation actually. So for a simply supported beam of span L subjected to UDL W, the displacement at the center is going to be delta B is going to be 5WL raised to 4 by 384A. We are given a minus sign because the downward deflection is taken as negative. Now the next step is on the relay structure we have to apply a unit load corresponding to the redundant. So the redundant was RB, so corresponding to RB, which was an outward reaction, we apply a unit force in the same relay structure and find out the small deflection delta B, small delta B. Okay, so this is again a simply supported beam of length L subjected to a single point at its center, which will be having a deflection, which will cause a deflection at the center, which is equal to WL3 by 48A. So here the load is 1, so it becomes L3 by 48A. So delta B. So if a unit load 1 has caused the deflection of delta B, in place of unit load, if we apply the actual support reaction RB, the support displacement will be RB into small delta B, right? So check this too carefully. C and D. So if we add this structure C and structure D, we will be getting the question, right? So now this is time for applying the compatibility condition. So compatibility condition, if you look at the original structure, we can see that at support B, the compatibility condition is that the total displacement at B should be equal to 0, right? So displacement at B should be equal to 0, which means that if you add the displacement in the C and displacement in D, these two cases at the location B, it should be 0. which means that delta B plus RB delta B should be equal to 0. So this is our compatibility condition, which means that RB is equal to capital delta B divided by small delta b with a minus sign. If you do that, you will get RB is equal to 5LL by 8. So the first solution we got here was our redundant reaction. So once the redundant reaction is known, you can also find out the other reaction, which are RA and RC, and also you can draw the bend moment diagram. Okay, so this is a illustration of method of consistent deformation. Okay, so let's see the procedure for method of consistent deformation stepwise. So once the structure is given, the first thing to do is you have to find out the static indeterminacy. Once the static indeterminacy understood, is determined, we know that there many number of redundant reaction will be there, and all this redundant reaction has to be removed so that we get a release structure. So once we do that, what we do is we'll apply the external load on the release structure and find out the deflection at all the redundant positions. Okay, so once that result is obtained, the next step is we have to apply unit load corresponding to the redundants one at a time and find out the deflection at the redundant position for each unit load applied. Okay, after that we will apply the comparative condition in order to find out the unknown redundants. Once the redundants are known, we will use the static equation of equilibrium for finding out other reactions, and once all the reactions are known, we will draw the shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram. Now let's see one more example. Like this is a similar problem but slightly different. So here also we have a two span beam. So simple support, which means that there are three reactions. Maybe it's a hinge, you can consider. So three reactions and two equations. Static indeterminacy is 3 minus 2, just 1, which means that we have to remove one support from the given structure. So we choose reaction at P VB as redundant. So we will remove the support at B and apply and find out the release structure. So the release structure will look something like this, and on the release structure we will apply the external load, which was in this case is only a 10 force away from 2 meter away from the support A. Okay, so once this load is applied, we have to find out the displacement corresponding to the redundant. So redundant was VB, so we have to find out what is marked here as delta B. So for this given loading, we have to find out the deflection at delta B. For this, you can use any method we had already learned in the previous semester. It can be either conjugate beam method or Macquarrie method or slope deflection method. Okay, so for here I have used conjugate beam method. So first of all, what we do is we have to find out the reaction for this given beam. So the reaction will be computed as 7.5 and 2.5 at C and 7.5 at A. Once the reaction is known, we will draw the bending moment diagram for this and load the conjugate beam with the M by A diagram, right? So the conjugate beam method is used here. So reaction was 7.5 here, which means that let this portion be called as D. Okay, so at D the bending moment is going to be 7.5 into 2 or 2.5 into 6, which amounts to 15. Its bending moment diagram will look something like this: peak at 15 and 0 at supports. It is connected by straight line because there is no UDM, right? So the M by A diagram is this. So next step is you have to calculate the reactions on the conjugate beam. So for that you can consider moment at C as 0. So RA into 8 is equal to the area of this triangle, which is half into 15 into 8 plus the distance centroid. So centroid is going to be somewhere here, so which would be nothing but L plus 8 plus 6, which was the length to the peak from here. So 8 plus 6 by 3. Okay, so whole divided by 8, we will get RA. So the support reaction at A is 35 EI, and support reaction C can be computed as total area minus 35 by A. So half into 15 into 8 is the total area minus 35, we get the reaction at C is 25 EI. Now in order to determine the delta B, which was the deflection at B, we want to calculate the bending moment in the conjugate beam at B. Okay, so that is calculated here. 25 into 4 minus 0.5 into 10 by EI into 4 into 4 by 3. 4 by 3 is the length of the centroid of this bone triangle. Okay, now we calculate delta B is 73.33. So it is a downward deflection. It is marked there. Okay. The next step is we have to apply a unit load corresponding to the removed redundant, right? So here we have the VB was removed, so corresponding to VB I applied a unit load. So again this is simply support beam with central point load applied. So that deflection can be calculated WLQ by 48 A. Here W is 1 and L is 8. So calculating delta B, small delta B value is 10.667 by EI. Now applying the compatibility condition, we have delta B plus VB into small delta B is equal to 0, which means that VB is equal to minus delta B by small delta B, which is equal to minus 6.875. So the value of VB is obtained as minus 6.875. The minus sign is because the direction of the unit load applied was not matching with the direction of the actual VB, which means that the VB is opposing this direction of the unit load, which means that VB will be an upward force, which is equal to 6.875. So now mark all the reactions. So VB was obtained at 6.875. So once the VB was obtained, we can calculate other two reactions by taking moment at A or moment at C. So we calculate two other reactions also. Once all the reactions are obtained, you can calculate the bending moment diagram as well. Okay. So in this next lecture, we will discuss more problems using the same method. Thank you.